So we're sharing this mic?
Yes. It doesn't really matter, or they all pick up.
Yeah, they pick up really well.
Okay.
You hear it? Okay.
Like terribly well.
Sit up.
Like I'm just gonna put mine over there.
All right.
Come here, hang on.
Okay,
Not that
sweet.
Sue, we are back in the studio.
We are.
We
We
haven't
haven't
been in
been
the
here
studio
so
for
long.
a while. Well, we've been really busy.
We have.
Toronto After Dark, Evil Dead.
We've
Night
been
of
doing
the
interviews.
Dead.
We've just been doing them like selfies.
It's been which is so much fun.
We've been
Or
getting creative.
we had Kaylee help us, which is nice. And Kaylee's helping us again tonight, working the board. So thank you, Kaylee.
Yay.
And we're in here tonight with like. Might as well just make her a co-host of this. Time.
Shall we take over the show? We didn't tell you?
This is what, 4,
You'll just
5?
start
4.
floating.
Is it 4?
4, I think. Yeah.
And I do want to apologize in case we came off a little mean last time you were here with the long story short and embarrassing stories.
That was my
about-
favorite interview I've ever done. That was so fun.
What story? I didn't think they were that embarrassing.
Yeah, and Michael Cedar really like reeled it in compared to what I thought it was going to be. He had a lot more dirt on me than that.
He's telling stories about me too. Right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael.
We'll have to have him back. But yeah, and of course you've brought your mom.
My
The
mom,
awesome, fantastic Gail Harvey. And let me get this out of the way. You have directed some of my favorite episodes of Murdoch Mysteries and Lost Girl.
Oh, thank you.
So-
Really?
Yeah.
Aw.
You really have.
I
But-
love those shows.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was just going through.
It's almost
So
getting so we
fun.
can tell when it's you.
Yeah,
Without
it totally
seeing it in
is.
the credits
Yeah.
first.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So nice. I got really lucky this year on Murdoch. I got 2 fantastic scripts. Not that they are all good. They were all
of course
good.
they are.
But I got 2 great scripts.
Well, I loved the what was it the
The
filmed
Filmed
adventures.
Adventures of-
That has been my favorite episode ever so far. And as soon as I
Yeah.
saw your name, I'm like, I know I'm going to enjoy this one.
That's true, Mom.
Thank you.
But before I jump into everything else, because I do have a list,
Mhm.
I wanted to ask this, and I don't know, because I don't know how it works on a TV series. Because as you come in as a director, how much casting control do you have over, like, you know, the guest stars? Are you involved in that, or
You know, Peter Mitchell, who also wrote that script and did an amazing job as the showrunner, and he's the most amazing guy to work with. So what happens is you go to casting, and then I pick my top, and he picks his top, and then and the casting director does, and you know the network can pipe in, but usually they don't on this show because it's going so well. But,
Yeah.
and actually, Peter and I on that episode he liked a different. I maybe shouldn't say
No,
this.
don't say
We
that.
ended up one of the parts. We had picked different people,
Really?
but then it came. He was like, "Whatever, I trust you," and picked the guy.
Oh, see, that's always a good sign.
Well, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people work that way.
Yeah. Because, I was just...
He's amazing. He really is. Great
You met
writer.
him.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the way he runs the show, and very supportive of everyone, and helpful as well when you need him. So he's terrific.
Because it just kind of struck me as curious, because, there's directors who specialize in television.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like Rob Bowman from the
Yeah.
X-Files and stuff and Supernatural. So I always just kind of wondered how much control over guest casting people, have, because it's...
Well, sometimes none.
There you go. So there's that.
It depends. Sometimes they don't even come to the casting session, so it just depends on the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good on you then, Fred. That's what. But not only are you,
Flow,
not only you're a fantastic director because you've done features as well, but you're a photographer as well.
Yeah.
And I was looking at your pictures today.
You were?
Well, it's called Prep.
Where did you look at them?
On your official site
On my
there.
website,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh, thank you.
so now because of looking as the original sin, you kind of get to combine them both.
That's right. That was what I wanted
Yeah.
to do.
Which is just. And I was telling.
Which I think at the Carlton there's actually going to be a display of.
Oh, is it really?
Right?
Photo
Yeah.
exhibit. So excited.
Big
room
room
on
on
the
the
level.
Yes.
It's amazing. Well, we'll have some kind of opening thing. I'm meeting with them on Monday to talk exactly what it's going to be.
Can you guys have a little fight when Katie gets there?
I started laughing, and then I got the joke. So I was halfway through. I was like, oh, that's why. That's funny.
But I told you guys this on the way down the stairs, and I'm not going to ruin the ending of the film because you need to see this film. But I was in tears. You guys, I was watching it on my computer screen, and I started like this, like the beginning of the movie. I'm like, this is awesome. And Katie, before I go any further, you didn't even seem to be acting. It was all just so natural. I was like, oh. So I was just sitting there and...
Yeah, without feeling like we were watching you, though. Like, I never felt like, Katie's just phoning it in or whatever. She's just playing herself.
That's the hardest thing to do.
Right?
Yeah.
To be natural on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
And
Well, we shot it in a way that it was like pretty easy to feel comfortable. So
Yeah.
We shot at our house.
like everything that my mom and I do together, we shot it in our home.
And Maria we've known for years, so it's just
Who's
like
fantastic.
family. Is she great in it?
But yeah, I was
I
like
know.
this, and I'm like watching it, and eating my dinner, and the further I get into the movie, I got lower and lower and lower until by the end of the film, I'm just like this. I'm like, run, Katie, run! It was so good.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming that all the photographs that are in the film are yours.
Yeah.
Just
And they'll be in the exhibit along with some other stuff. I'll pull some probably more movie star pictures and
because
things I've done since then. Yeah. So
how do you find the time?
my iPhone's my camera now.
Don't tell people that.
Well, Annie Leibovitz told people that.
Really?
Oh yeah, the quality's amazing.
It,
So
yeah.
when we went to I went to Venice because Lucky
I
Mr.
know.
Katie was in Georgophilia and went to Venice, and so she wanted someone to come with her, so I came. And
As
we
you
went
do.
to Rome, and I don't know, I just take pictures with the
Right.
iPhone now. But I also have
Yeah, you
obviously
do.
real
Oh, yeah.
cameras, and it's just part of my life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first picture I took of Katie, the umbilical cord was still attached. That's the truth. That's sorry.
Just
put
tilt
that
her
one
this
in the
way.
movie.
Yeah.
Could you swing the light over it a little bit?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, and it was always like, "Hey, Mom, do we have to take this picture?" Right?
Yeah.
You describe
Really?
it.
Does
You
that
want it
happen a
out.
lot?
I was like, stop.
Yeah, meanwhile,
Yeah.
we're Instagram friends, so it's not
Yeah.
like I don't know you're posting
She's
everything.
a great photographer.
I'm amazing at taking selfies. That's
Yeah.
true.
I know. You're great. Katie's also, she's a very good photographer.
But yeah, no, we like Mike and I, who is my brother, grew up with my mom always taking a lot of pictures, which is so amazing now because you think like when
Right.
I have kids one day or they
have
can
so
see my
much to
whole
show
so much
them.
to show
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
so
Bins and
yeah,
bins and
bin-
bins
yeah.
and
That's
bins.
fantastic, though. And more importantly, though, they all look great.
Yeah, they're all like amazing. So
Not
and I think
all.
one of the themes of this movie is like the thought of could your kid go back through your life and see everything that you saw if you record it somehow, like through photographs. And I actually, now that I'm getting older, can see what my mom's whole 20s were like because it's when she was
Because you were
traveling and a
there.
photojournalist. And so
Yeah,
it's
one of the reasons I wanted to do the film, I thought that it would be really interesting to use that as a theme. Like if you go back and look, because I realized, because I have cupboards and cupboards full of negatives that now I'm thinking I gotta scan them out. Get somebody to scan them for me. But they could go through and just really look at everything that I looked at. Because I never put the camera down.
Because that was one of my favorite things in the film, is that Anna is trying to just know her mom.
Yeah.
yeah.
And she can only do that through the pictures because Maria's not opening up to her, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
That was interesting because when I read the blurb about her finding her mom, I was like, oh, so she was probably given up for adoption or something, and she was trying to find her birth mother. And I'm like, oh no, she's actually trying to like
find her.
Physically
She's
find
right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not.
Yeah.
Right now, the film is inspired, not loosely, but on Diane Arbus.
Diane Arbus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with her
I
work
looked
or
up this
not.
morning and
Oh,
pulled
you
it
just
back.
Photos, eh? Really cool. Yeah.
It just
pretty
so
amazing photographer. And when I was a photographer, I was with an agency in New York that her daughter was with, photo agency, and I often wondered what it would have been like to be her daughter. But also the fact that her art took her away from her family and away from everything that she believed she had to be. So it enabled her to change. She also suffered, I believe, from bipolar or some kind of mental illness. So that's also in my family in some way. So a lot of things were funny. I thought movie themes are mother-daughter, mother-daughter.
Yeah.
It's another movie that Katie and I did together was similar.
Sure.
Mother going away. So yeah.
Well, there's a lot of well, not only on the screen, but behind the scenes as well. I mean, Michael has a song. That last track is just,
That's amazing, right?
I love Michael.
and your grandparents are
in
the
it,
bed.
yes.
And you've used one of those pictures in your book, if memory serves.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Like a trap.
Nice.
Like a trap.
Yeah.
So
like a trap.
they were all,
I
mean, you've
halfway,
got
I was
family
like,
everywhere
where did I
in
see
there.
the picture?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to take. I shot it with a Canon 7D, and I wasn't the only DP because I have
I
three
saw
other
that,
amazing
yeah.
friends that worked for, we had no money, so they deferred all their payment. But I shot a lot of it, and I wanted to be able to take drama into the real world in some ways. So it's not that it's a documentary, but we certainly took the drama out, and because the camera's so small, it's not intrusive,
right.
and people don't even really...
It just can happen naturally.
No,
Yeah.
And it's an actor co-op. Actor was
Wow.
extremely supportive of us in doing the film. I'm the only non-actor member. All the actors own
Wow.
the film, along with me. Yeah. And Maria and Katie are producers.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Paid attention to all the credits because I'm like, I bet you there's going to be tons of Harveys
Yeah.
and tons of Bolands in there. Yep.
So many.
Well, I just went out to start shooting the movie because I've been thinking about it for 20 years.
Wow.
Before Katie was an actress. And it's funny how things work out because now that she, now I had the camera that I could just go out in the world and shoot it without a huge crew. She was an amazing actress and lucky enough was available to work, and plus I could use all the photos I'd taken of her all those years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I noticed that they're like clicking by and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is perfect.
Right? So if I'd done it when I thought I wanted to do it, which was a long time ago, I don't think the film would have been as powerful.
Yeah.
and it is that. I mean, like I said, it knocked me flat. I was just,
Yeah, on the way here we were talking, because that was the first, the streetcar on the way here was the first time we got a chance to talk about it. And I was like, I think that's the most gentle devastation I've ever experienced in life or watching a film. Like, it just like, it's not even like it crept up on me, but it was just like, it was just a slow build to complete heartache at the end of it.
But then it kind of softens a little
Yes.
bit at the end, right? I didn't want
Yeah, it's not like-
I
yeah.
was themselves when they left the theater. So
Yeah.
it's kind of it's poignant. I
Yeah,
think.
oh, totally.
Yeah.
It's
Movie,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was
Good.
great. We were trying to... That's a relief.
Like, there's that,
No,
like
but
that one
several
last
people
shot
have
of
said that.
Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all that stuff.
Like right back into the camera the way her
Yeah.
mom had been doing
Yeah.
all the way through the whole movie
Yeah.
was
Just,
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Aren't they amazing? You guys are amazing.
No.
We're so lucky to have you in the Canadian film and TV industry.
We
Like,
need that as a soundbite right there, and that
But
will
it's
be
so
a promo
true.
reel.
Like the amount of research you guys do, and like how much all the projects mean to you. I just
my
feel like
God,
we're really lucky, so lucky.
We love what you guys do, so, and we can't do it.
And you guys are pioneers. You did this all by yourself. That's the best thing of all.
Well,
with
yeah.
Billy now. Yeah.
But yeah,
It's hard to make movies.
It
really
is.
So
Yeah.
thank you for your support.
Oh, but
And I'm
but we
just
were
so
talking
glad
about
that
it.
you kind of, it always means so much to me when people get the movie. when
Yeah.
they see it.
Oh my god. Well, we were talking how it. I think the words I used to describe it on the way over was it feels objective because it almost has that documentary feel, but at the same time it's really intimate
Yeah.
in everything that it puts the characters through. I'm like, that not only takes balance, that takes talent. Like not just in front of the camera, but behind it.
Yeah.
So it's
The
just.
scene where Anna comes home hammered on wine.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
just-
my favorite scene.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
beautiful. But also the camera just kept kind of swaying the whole
Yeah.
time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I feel kind of sick right now.
Like I myself feel drunk right now. Yeah.
Colin Holt, who I've known for years, I had Peter Benison, Colin Holt, and Josh Freeman were the three other DPs on film along with me. But Colin shot that scene. And Colin is amazing. I always say you should be a director just because I'll be thinking something and he'll do it before I even have to tell him. He's just
very
really
intuitive.
very
Yeah.
intuitive in the way he operates the camera. And I knew what I wanted,
Wow.
but he just does it and gets it, you know, so. Yeah,
That's
lucky
fantastic.
person.
Well, that and the fact that the two of you seem to get along so well.
And we really
We
do,
do.
is a thing. Like I feel like we've done so many interviews where people are like, "But tell me the
Yeah,
truth."
what's really going on
Like,
now?
what's
Yeah.
really like conflict? Like, that's really
How
like
many
working
times
with
did your
mother.
mom ground you?
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I guess that but it's actually, it's not even in other industries. Like maybe it's abnormal in our industry, but it's normal for there to be like a family business or for kids to work
Mhm.
with
Yeah,
their
yeah,
parents.
totally.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, we do get along that well.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even, but it's funny, I don't think of it as a family business per
No.
se
Mhm.
at all, although I know
Although
what you're saying,
yeah.
although, because Katie and Michael were both born knowing what they wanted to do. Katie always knew she wanted to be an actress. She was 3, she'd come to sets, and she'd say, "I can do that, Mummy," and I'd go, "No." And then
I would tell
finally-
my kid they couldn't be an actor.
Would you
probably.
tell him?
No, you have to let them, I guess. But
Well,
when you're in the film industry, it's like the
I
last
said,
thing
okay,
you
but I
want
mean,
to
it's
do.
not like I would be dragging her, I said, so I mean, obviously I could introduce her to somebody. I called the casting director and said, "How many kid agents?" And then I said, "You go to the meeting yourself." I think were you 8 or something?
Yeah, I wore
Wow.
like a blazer and lipstick.
I remember.
Yes!
Lipstick?
Mom, I've always loved lipstick. I remember
Lip balm,
No,
maybe.
lipstick. I fully remember.
No.
Yes.
We'll ask Mary.
Ask Mary. That totally happened. Yeah.
Anyway,
I
and
can
she
see
came
that,
out.
This
though.
just in.
She said, "I'd like to represent her." So I mean, she just
Wow.
did it and started working. And Michael, my son, who's a hip hop artist,
Yeah, he is.
always. I have him on tape reading a poem when he was like 4 or 5, something that he wrote. So I
Wow.
always knew he wanted to be a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, right? But I always knew. I just knew I wanted to be an artist. That was why. I remember when I became a photographer, thinking, "Oh,
This is
I
it.
just
Yeah.
draw it. This is what I want to do."
Yeah.
What was your first camera?
I had a really small camera that I took to Europe with me when I was 20, and I don't remember what kind it was. But when I got money, I was a flight attendant too for Ward Air, and one of the first thing I did, I went to the duty free in Barbados. I was on a Barbados turnaround, and I bought a Pentax camera.
Nice.
Yeah, my first
Duty-free.
SLR, and then I gave it to my brother, who also was a photographer. And I've used Canon cameras after then exclusively.
That was going to be
There's a
a question
plug.
too.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
saw. I think the camera that Anna used. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I
I
think
know
that's
that.
Canon.
Yeah. I think I received
Yeah,
one
so
of
it was
those
nice.
today.
They let us
Yeah.
use it, so I didn't have to black out the Canon. You know,
Yeah.
So that's good.
I got the license from them. So.
That is so fantastic. Now, you guys have done this one. You've done Long Story Short together, of course. What else are you guys gonna like? Is this a partnership that's gonna go on for a while?
Yeah,
Are you
well,
gonna-
we sort of realized this past year, we were like, yeah, this works really well together.
Mhm.
Like, I think that we have strengths that work well together, and then, like, we can compensate for each other's weaknesses as well. Like, we make a good team. So,
Yeah.
I'm cooler because I work with long story short.
and
It's
I
true.
have a lot of opportunity through working with my mom, you know.
And
Access
Katie's a
and-
great writer, so but with
Yeah.
scripts and stuff, I help her. I think with structure.
Yeah, with
and
structure.
I pen it
Nice.
them, and we would
Yeah.
talk about it and work
Wow.
together. Yeah.
But we are
So we
starting
have
a
a
company to
Yeah.
For
like
you
a production
guys.
company, yeah. And we're pitching TV shows right now, new
Really?
ones.
New ones,
Yeah.
new ideas,
New
all the
ideas.
way.
So now Laverne
And
Show,
everybody
you're
wants
gonna
to
come
meet
up
with us,
something.
which
Yeah.
is awesome because
Wow.
we've
Yeah.
had a successful year. So I am cooler now that I work with Katie.
Which I told her when we started doing Long Story Short, she was like,
Oh God.
she
do
was
I
like,
direct all
oh,
these?
I don't know if I want to direct all these. Like, I'm tired. I was like, Mom, direct them. It will make you cooler. I was like, drinking, sex, young people, you will be cooler.
So that's why it's a good combination because
Yeah.
I mean you've seen the web series.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, we have.
I will say myself, it's extremely well done, very professionally done. And we go places. They go, how the hell did you do that? It's
Mhm.
30 years of experience. That's me.
Yeah.
But the new, fresh take on it is
Mhm.
Katie.
Yeah, it's
Right. So it's good.
It's a fantastic series. But you knew that because we spoke about it.
Thank you.
It's
Okay,
true.
I went
spoke
to
in
London.
I
Right?
thought
She
it was fun.
Really?
She was working on Rain, and Katie said we said
Oh,
submit
that's
it to
right.
Rain Dance Film
Yeah.
Festival, and it got accepted, which was great. But then it got nominated for Best Web Series. Out of 5 web series. I'm going, Kate said, I can't. We both wanted to go, but she couldn't go because she was working on Rain, so I went, which was awesome.
Wow.
Really fun.
Mhm.
What were you
So
up
it's fun working with your mom.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
trying to think of the last thing my mom helped me with. Might have been my homework. Grade 3?
Come on.
But,
never did
boom.
this.
She must be so proud of you, though.
We get that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
My mom follows the show and she follows the blog like regularly, and she goes, "I don't always understand what you guys are doing, but I'm so proud of you."
Sweet.
Because we just posted our.
Your mom's one of my biggest supporters.
Yeah. Don't know what she's doing for me. But we got to visit Murdoch, the set. Like.
Right, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
Yeah.
She posted. She not only shared that with everyone she knew, but she kept talking about it. I'm like,
Well, if I
but we're
direct
not
next
sweet.
year, you should come again.
Yes.
That was the first thing we we asked. The day we were going, we're like,
is Gail here? So, but I love that. I love that both of you not only are involved like in international film and stuff, but you guys stay local as well. I mean, like with Murdoch or even Republic of Doyle, you stay very Canadian.
Yeah.
Which is, I love that. So it makes it so much easier to support
I don't have
what
any
you guys
work
do.
papers in the States.
Good.
Katie does, but everything shoots here anyways.
That's a good point as well. You're always here, but you're going back to LA for pilot season.
I think now I really need to be there in a more full-time way, which is sad. Like it's sad because I love Toronto and I find my life so much easier here. But I think that it helps so much here if you've had some success there or worked there. So I think the hope is that like, you know, go and get a couple jobs and then everything becomes a lot easier here. Sure. So
you're doing pretty well here.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like you want like if you have like a number of American credits, that really helps. So, which is sort of unfortunately the truth about the Canadian film industry. But that is true.
That's a brutal truth.
Yeah.
But you just keep directing. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, Republic of Doyle, you got to go to Newfoundland.
Yeah.
That's got to be
2
tough.
seasons of that. Yeah. Well, my family's from Newfoundland.
No way.
Yeah, so no, it wasn't tough. It was great. And I went to visit my aunt and uncle and in between shooting and editing and kind of
kitchen parties.
Saw my cousins. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Kitchen parties.
I miss those.
Yeah.
I miss those so much.
Where are you from?
I was born in New Brunswick. But I did
cool.
my university out in Nova Scotia.
Cool.
So yeah, knew all about the kitchen
Maritime.
parties. Yeah. I mean, got to grow up all over the planet, but yeah, Maritimes are probably, as long as I'm close to the water, I'll consider that home.
Yeah.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
LA.
that's why
I
I
dated a
New
Newfoundlander and they had kitchen parties here all the time. So
What?
I've never been to the East Coast.
Oh.
I've never been to either coast in Canada.
Really?
Go to both.
I know. If it wasn't so expensive to travel, I don't know why I'm like,
Traveling.
come on, travel industry. Why is it so expensive to travel?
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, especially within Canada, it's crazy.
Like I could go to LA for cheaper than I can go to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy. Like it's the same price to go to Newfoundland as it is to go to Europe.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
like really? Like yeah. Like poor Mark and Georgina, like having to go back and forth all the time. Like, holy.
Now, in terms of your photographs, is there any chance that somewhere down the line there's going to be a book?
I've done a couple of photo books. The first photo book I did was photos of Terry Fox.
I know, which I wanted to say today, because I went through your site, that the one picture where he's running in front of the car, that one there, I've known that picture my entire life.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was you. And as soon as I saw it was you, I'm like, oh my God, that's Gail.
The one on the loonies in my picture and all that.
It just, I was like
well,
completely
he was a pretty
stunned.
amazing guy.
Yeah.
Very amazing guy.
But I mean, that picture's iconic. I mean, I literally grew up with that picture. And I'm like, and now you're right here. You took that picture. That's amazing.
I know, isn't that cool?
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
I would always like whenever in school, like there would be like textbooks, obviously, and people would talk about Terry Fox, and I'd be like, my mom took all those photos.
You're welcome.
Gail Harvey.
Take that.
Take that.
And I did another book on politicians because I was a photojournalist first, so I photographed every politician. Up until when I stopped. So I did a book on that, and then I don't know. Maybe I've had various talks with people, but I don't know if there are a lot of photo books made anymore. I think I probably would be working for Life magazine if the Life magazine was still around. I love telling a story with images. That was always what I wanted to do. So filmmaking is very connected.
Totally.
And I guess if you went into space, you could be like Chris Hadfield and take a lot of cool pictures there.
Yeah.
That'd make a good book.
I like Earth.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a favorite subject you like to shoot, or just
I just shoot
whatever
people,
catches your eyes?
Just people mainly. Yeah, people, just life, like whatever's happening.
I could do that. I could do that. I couldn't do it well, but I could do it.
You could do it.
I could. I've got tons of pictures of my cats. I'm awesome.
Yeah, you guys love your cat.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad
cute.
that
I love animals. Like I take hundreds of pictures every time we go to the zoo. It's kind of ridiculous, but I can't help it. Every time. Tim doesn't even pull out his camera sometimes.
I don't even take it anymore. I'm like, if I really need it, Sue will have it.
Like the same thing, only the human animal. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Does it ever get Because I mean, it was you kind of touched on it with where they go and take pictures of Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Does it ever get to the point where you feel
Sarah Connor.
that was an awesome line? By the way.
You know who wrote that line? The editor.
Was it you? Oh, the editor.
Yeah. John Nichols.
Yeah.
And he said, "There's a place for this to be perfect."
ADR.
ADR.
Thank you, John.
But I mean, has it ever gotten to the point where you feel like you're intruding on a person?
No, I actually never did that.
Okay.
That's that was more a statement on celebrity and what photography can be and what it's kind of become now, where everybody's a celebrity on their own Facebook page.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I'm the
And
most
I
awesome
do
guy in the
think-
world.
Yeah, like
I love making my life look amazing.
Craig Grant, the props guy on Murdoch, has a T-shirt that says, "May your life be as amazing as you pretend it is on Facebook."
That's awesome.
But isn't that true?
It's
I need
totally
something
true.
like that, Yeah.
Yeah.
So Linda's a friend. So we shot that in Linda's house because Katie and Maria
Don't
were.
tell Sue this kind of stuff.
They were in LA for pilot season. We thought, let's go down there and just shoot that scene because I always knew I wanted the scene. I had phoned her about it and sent her the sides and stuff.
Mhm.
She said, "Yeah, just come over." So it was the first scene that I shot with the camera.
Wow.
Before I bought the camera.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was,
And I mean, I think that does happen. And you know, it's certainly something that I read a lot about with Diane Arbus and other photographers at that time. You know, that they don't care. I think that what do I do? Maybe disarm people. I don't know. I'm pretty easy going. I like to make people feel comfortable.
Mhm.
I like to do that on sets too.
Yeah.
I think people like working on my sets.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Kind of just try to pretend
Be
it's
relaxed.
stress free.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a complete difference between that scene and the one where Anna went to shoot the elderly couple.
Yeah.
Like, and that was
Mm.
far more intimate. I mean, it was in their
Yeah.
bedroom, and it was
I
there
used
was
to
a
do
lot more
that.
going on. Yeah.
I used to do that. I just go out. I always said my camera was the key to anywhere in the world. So I remember I was in China when it was first opened to the Western world, like
Wow.
years and years ago. And I'd have somebody write down in Chinese the hotel I was staying at, and then I'd just take off. And it was the typical sort of people following you through the streets, but people would just invite you into their homes and just go in and take pictures everywhere.
That's amazing.
Monks would bring me into people just would. It's amazing if you're not threatening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Which I feel like as a young woman,
woman,
you're less threatening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly with politicians and movie stars and things
Sorry.
like that. So
It's gonna make noise.
You're right.
Yeah.
And we can't
Just
fix
think
that
about
in
the
post.
olden days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop. Yeah. Please stop. Yeah.
Was bugging you?
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah, but that's true. Like with the camera you can. I just used to use it. Kind of mind if I take your picture? Exactly what she did in that scene. I used to do that all the time.
Well, and I think I can blame this on Toronto After Dark because my first
Oh, yeah,
reaction.
how was that?
Oh my god, it was so good 9 nights, and I was so exhausted. I was in bed by no later than 12:30 every night. Back up at 6.
Oh God.
That I cannot keep that schedule. Like
I know. I was like just
Yeah.
going to the early shows every
Yeah.
night. I was still
Yeah.
like, I can't.
But I think this totally influenced my take on that scene where she goes up the steps and
Yeah.
talks, and I'm like, don't go in the house.
I know.
It's not
that's
gonna end well. It's not gonna end well.
Nobody just says, "Sure, come on in." Take a
yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's a
used to do that with
stranger.
me.
Yeah, that's
Everybody.
so awesome.
Especially people
And I
like my
think secretly-
grandparents.
Right.
They would say,
Yeah,
if
but
anyone
yeah,
asked my
in fact,
grandparents,
like
like,
my parents, but
yeah, no, but like if anyone asked Nan and Pop to do anything,
anything,
they would
sure.
be like, yeah, come
Yeah.
in. Like,
That's
they're such good actors.
Maybe I should
eh?
talk to them.
Yeah, you should talk to them.
You
yeah.
should not just bring strangers
Don't
into your
do
home.
that.
Yeah.
oh,
I did that everywhere.
Wow. And did it get scary ever?
Never.
Which is lucky,
That
actually.
is, I was
But
about to
I
say that.
always
It's
used
so
to
lucky.
think too. But I see, I was a photojournalist, so I did a lot of traveling around the world with camera. But I always used to think camera's pretty heavy. Like you could like whack
Yeah.
somebody in the
That's
head and
true.
it'd be- you know?
You could do some
Wow.
damage.
So, and also you know, I had to be a feminist. There were no women photojournalists. Still aren't very many, I don't
Wow.
think. And so I just, you know, you just took care of yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Same as girl directors.
Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely aren't enough of those. I will say that
Yeah.
right off the bat. There's not enough. I mean,
Yeah.
we know there's April. I know April.
Yeah.
We know you.
Mm-hmm. Well, there
Catherine
are
Bigelow.
some. Yeah, Kari
Yeah.
Skoglund, Rachel Talway.
Okay. Yeah.
Holly Dale, Ann Wheeler.
Yeah.
There's more, but there's
There's
on
the
10
gentleman who did
the
who
lady-
disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
Mitchell, I think her last name is.
Adrian.
Adrian.
Bomb Girls.
Yeah.
Adrian Mitchell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's not
Yeah.
not that many. I could probably name like 50 men.
Right
now,
right?
Yeah.
Seems kind of wrong,
Yeah.
but that's just me.
Yeah. You're right, it is. I mean, the film industry is one of the only, I think, industries where sexism is still, like, I think it's a very sexist industry in a lot of ways. And I think that, like, there's no, like, discussion about that changing. It's just, like, that's the way it is. Kind of, like, it's a little bit, like, backwards in that way still, I think.
But I think directing is
That's really squeaky.
maybe it was your chair.
It was your chair.
I don't know why directing is a
Sit on
male
your
job.
hands, Gail.
That's also
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
I've never understood that. As if you've got the time.
Because it's a multitasking
Yeah.
job, and I think women
Yeah.
are very good at that.
Yeah.
A lot of them
I
are.
think people see it as the director has to be in charge, and more people listen to men.
Yeah.
I've never encountered that.
Not in reality, but I think that's the perception that people have.
Yeah, totally. That's
Maybe.
that's 100%
Yeah,
true.
no, I'm just
And
thinking
even on
that-
sets, that's true. Like, it's so much harder for a woman director to say anything and have people, like, because I've worked with, obviously, my mom and a lot of other women, and just, like, the way that
Helen
camera
Shaver,
guys will act to
Really?
women directors versus men. Like, it's so...
Yeah, that's true.
Huh.
It's
But
so...
I think if it's a different way. Like, I never yell. I don't like people yelling on set. If a first AD yells, I always take them aside, or anybody yells, I say, stop.
Yeah.
Frickin'
'cause-
yelling on my set.
Yeah.
I don't yell at people in front of people. I just
No.
don't yell at people.
Yeah.
But I think I'm very much in charge, and I would say at times maybe the producers have been, what the hell? Why isn't she yelling at people? Or thinking that. But it's a different type of control, I think.
Yeah.
It's control through support
Yeah.
and encouragement.
Which makes more
But
sense.
the buck stops here. Like, you
Yeah.
also have to be strong enough to know, okay, no. And I would say there have been times that people have been maybe confused by that and thought they could get away with something,
Yeah.
or
Push it
but
out a
they
little
they
bit.
don't. You know what I would say?
No,
No.
they don't with you.
No.
No. But what I see happen a lot is, like, if a
Do you want to make her mad?
yeah, no. If a woman will yell, and the reaction will be like, "What a, like,
Yeah.
bitch," or whatever. But if
Yeah.
a man would yell, everyone would be like,
Good for
Tip
him.
of-
yeah. Or no, they'd just be like, "Cool, yeah, I'll listen now." Whereas, like,
I
if a woman
remember
does,
Helen
it's like
Shaver, who's a wonderful director. She directed Katie
Yeah.
in what was it called?
the man who lost
The Man
himself.
Who Lost
Yeah.
Himself. And her husband, is he a grip
Mhm.
or something? And he took her aside. He said, "A woman director can never cry on set. Never cry."
And that's
And that's
true.
kind of a rule. Don't cry.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get choked up when I'm watching scenes.
Sure.
That's when I
Yeah.
cry. You know, when I'm at the monitor and I'm watching the scene, I get into the scene. It's like,
Totally.
yeah,
I don't think women are supposed to cry at all. If
Ever.
They want to be seen
right?
as
Yeah.
yeah. Like even at
But
VizTech.
I love crying.
I know. I'm so good at it.
I cry so much. Yeah.
Well, it's such an emotional field, you know, like you want to be
Yeah.
feeling emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I often say that my job is sculpting emotions. I think that's what directing
Ooh,
is.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
You know, like watching it, feeling it,
Mhm.
watching a performance, and say, well, maybe you'd be a little more jealous. You know, tone
Yeah.
down the,
Nice.
you know, this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's different from manipulating emotions, which is what other people do.
I'm not
Yeah.
mentioning any names there. Clearly.
I'm just working. Don't cry.
That's right. No crying. No, it wouldn't have worked anyway.
No.
I'm gonna go no crying in baseball, but it wouldn't have worked.
That was a good movie.
Love that movie. Which, yes, your all-time favorite movie, or do you have an all-time favorite movie?
Oh my God.
Or one of.
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of movies that I really love.
All right. What's your
Lots of
go-to
movies.
rainy sunny day? Or rather, a
Rainy,
rainy
sunny
Sunday.
day
Yeah,
movie?
one of those days, which don't happen a
I
lot.
mean, Casablanca.
Oh, good for you.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Sophie's Choice.
Gorgeous film.
John Cassavetes stuff. That guy, Woman Under the Influence.
Mhm.
I don't know, just so many films that I love.
I need to sit down and watch Casablanca again. I don't watch it often enough. You watch that one and Harry and Sally back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. Oh, I love that.
Lots
So what else?
What about you, Katie? What are your favorite movies?
My favorite movie is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
Yeah.
and it's always been my favorite movie. It's just like for me and like the types of things that I'm interested in thinking about, the way I think about life and love and relationships, and it's just like for me, it's a perfect movie. Like it's like communicates my worldview on love and time and people, and so that movie is my favorite.
I get to rewatch that
I
one very
add that to
soon.
my list too.
I'm stealing that one.
can.
No, I just can't pick one. What about you guys?
Oh, my all-time favorite? Easy. I'm not even wearing the shirt, but it's Jaws. It's always Jaws.
Jaws?
Jaws is I saw it when I was 3 years
No
old.
way.
Wow,
And-
and you loved it even then.
Yeah. Apparently the story I tell, which my mom is now contesting despite the fact that she's the one who told me that this is how it happened. We were living in Calgary, and my parents had a huge discussion on whether or not I would be able to go see the movie with them because it was at a drive-in. So apparently we went. Whoever won the argument, I don't know who it was, but I sat in the front seat of it must have been our Rabbit, sat in the front seat of the Rabbit and just watched the movie and ate it up. I had like shark shirts after that.
Wow.
And I will watch it now like half a dozen times a year. Anytime it's at
Oh,
the
that's
light box or being screened somewhere, I will see it. I will pay to see it on the big screen.
Really,
Just-
eh? Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a grilled cheese sandwich. It's comfort food.
Yeah.
Taxi drivers like that.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Katie, the first movie Katie saw was at the Fox Theater, and she was a baby. We carried her. I don't think she was walking. It was Superman. And as soon as he
Nice.
came on screen, she started waving. Like,
Because I guess as a baby, you'd never seen a
You
movie
don't get
before.
that,
You
yeah.
it's just a big person.
Over here.
Everyone else is bigger than you. And
My dog barked at a Michael Jackson poster I put on my wall. He was
Really?
Like a stranger
Like,
in my room.
who is this
weird.
man?
Yeah, there you go.
So you know.
That is funny.
I could totally see you do that too.
Yeah. I'd love to wave. Still. I always wave.
That's right.
What about
me
you,
too.
Sue?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
It's for comfort food wise, it's Star Wars always because that's
Yeah.
what I grew up with. But also, Silence of the Lambs is
Oh,
is
yeah.
my perfect movie.
Yeah. So good.
Oh, he's so creepy.
Oh, well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
creepy, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why you would have loved that Banshee chapter because it had Ted Levine in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one would have freaked you out. There was some scary stuff.
I'm a
going on.
wuss. I don't like
I don't
like
things.
scary movies.
I have like choices of the kinds of scary movies that I like. Like some stuff like I can't even use Dead Before Dawn as an example because it wasn't really over the top gore. But like Evil Dead the musical we just went to see.
It's
and,
cool,
like,
eh?
it's
I saw it a couple years ago.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
but it's so funny and it's so fun and we walked out of there covered in fake blood and it was just
You're in
fun.
the front row?
Third row, but
Yeah.
close enough.
Yeah. It's got big blood. Yeah.
Still
It
a
was
lot of blood.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know, anything that like tortures animals or people, I'm not really big on that. And, but I do love a good ghost story. Like I love to be that kind of scared, where I kind of feel like I gotta
believe
check
in
under the bed.
the spirits?
Yep, I sure do.
Yeah, so do I. That's
So
why
do
they
I.
screw me.
Yeah, I know.
You should come ghost hunting with us when we go again.
Do you really do that?
I'm
We just did that.
so
When was
scared of
that?
it. How
I
was
guess
it?
July. It was so much fun.
Really?
I keep
Like
telling this
scary,
story
though?
because it was so. This is my favorite story now because it's awesome. The group we went with, one of them owned or ran a horse stable, and apparently it had been around forever. And the stall at the very end, they couldn't keep any of the horses in because they would freak out anytime they were in there. So they put a whole bunch of supplies and storage in there. And the whole night, people were like, "Well, that's if anything's going to happen, it's going to be down there," kind of thing. And
Right.
everybody's kind of wandering, doing their stuff. We've got like our little electromagnetic monitors. We're recording
Like in
for
the movie?
Oh yeah. And we're
It was
recording
awesome.
for
They let us
EVPs.
hold them.
So at one point, everybody else is down at the far end, and Kimberly, one of the ghost hunters, and I go into this stall, and I've got my little reader out, and was like, "Is there anybody here?" And the lights go all the way up to indicate yes. I'm like, "Okay, would you like us to leave?" And it goes all the way up to yes. So I kind of wander out, and Kimberly's like, "No, we need to go back." I'm like, "Well, why? It wanted us to leave." So no, you were inciting something. Push it. So I'm like, "Okay, let's do this. What's the worst that could happen?" So I walk in.
He says it's the last
Yeah,
thing ever.
exactly.
Yes, I'm already scared.
And I get this like cold spot right here on my cheek. So I said, and you want to use the scientific method as much as you can because you want to debunk stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to turn around. We're going to check the window, make sure the window's closed and sealed. And there's, so we turn around. We've got our lights on and completely sealed. So there's no explanation of why my cheek is cold. And we turn around and we're getting ready to go. And right here, there's a growl. Like literally a growl. And I'm like, the first thing
there were puppies.
And the first thing I said was, that was awesome. And the second thing I said was, Kimberly, please tell me you heard that. And she goes, I heard that. I'm like, please let that have come out on the audio. It did not come out on the audio. But it was awesome. It was like the coolest thing
I
ever.
could not go ghost hunting.
Do you watch Long Island Medium?
No.
Okay, my mom's
I don't
favorite.
either.
I've
My
heard,
show
favorite
now.
show.
Not that I don't watch TV that much, you know.
I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
Who else was just talking about it recently? Because I was like, maybe I should start watching it. Because I watch Ghost Hunter.
If you're into ghosts and stuff, it's really interesting. Or spirits, as she would say.
Yeah.
She would say.
Yeah.
A friend of mine in New York is John Edwards' ghostwriter.
Oh.
Really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to work for the Toronto Sun.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
Really
yeah, I love a good ghost story. I do.
Me too.
I find it spooky.
I get like absolutely terrified. The orphanage, I needed them. Well, I didn't need, but I really wanted them to just shut the projector off for a minute and give me like turn on the lights and give me a break to breathe. Because I got so scared at one point. I was like, I can't breathe. But I got through it, and it ended up being one of my favorite movies ever, really, because it was so good. It was a beautiful ending, and I still had to check things when I went home. But I love being that terrified and then being able to like leave safely and go home.
Yeah.
Turn on the lights after and be fine.
You need
I'm not
to do
sure
a
I'd be
horror
that.
movie.
Yeah, I want to do a horror movie.
Totally need to do.
Yeah, I would love to do a
horror
horror movie. Yeah, I think it would be really fun.
I think it would be. Yeah.
Especially if you were like the
It's
survivor.
not my genre, though. Is it, you know?
I think there are really good
There
horror
are-
movies.
yeah.
And I think like as an actress, it's like a real challenge because the stakes are so high all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be fun. I would like to do one.
Well, see, I think you personally could do one if it was character driven. Like
Yeah.
not one of these.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I want something.
Yeah.
And my favorite kind of horror movie is the kind that gets under your skin because of the characters and because of the story,
Yeah.
as opposed to saying, "Oh, jump scare, oh,
Yeah.
blood." No.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the ones that
I
I
don't
think
need
about
that.
after I've left. Then it just stops being a horror movie and it starts being a story, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
the more
Yeah.
important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I could. Yeah. I have to be. I'm being selective.
Yeah,
I think I'm
selective
thinking
is
hard
good.
about what I want to do next.
Yeah.
That's
I did an episode of this show called Darknet, which
Yeah.
Vincenzo.
Cynthia Empson was emailing us about that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like a horror web series, and I actually found it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's you guys. It's like right up your alley. You should watch it or like
Oh, yeah.
have people on when it comes out because it is
Is
cool.
your episode up?
No, I don't know. And like I shouldn't even be talking about it because I don't know the details of like when it comes out or anything. But
I know. Like, has any of it started?
and none of it has
Yes,
started
yeah.
yet. It's coming out soon.
I think. Yeah, because the
And-
first episode
I think
dropped
you know
for
what I think
Halloween.
on Halloween.
Yeah.
On Halloween.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can follow it on Twitter at
Yeah.
Darknet Flies.
And then I think it's going to be like another month or so before they start.
Really,
Yeah, I
like,
think that's
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
But yes, because the PR rep was just pitching it to us, and I'm like, this does sound
Yeah,
really
you guys would
cool.
love it. It's cool. I think.
Put this in my phone so I
Yeah.
So you don't forget.
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah, that's not rude.
We
But when I
love
said-
our phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
My memory is so sharp.
I don't have a
lately. I
memory
have to
anymore.
write
It's my
everything
phone
down.
is my memory.
It's,
Yeah.
Well, I was saying to, actually, I've been saying it to everybody for the first time in forever. I have a calendar on my wall, and I actually use it as opposed to just have a picture of cats or whatever. It's like I
Why don't you
use
just
it.
put on your phone?
I could do that, but then I'm always afraid I'm going to lose my phone. I'm
Right.
that.
I've got it on
crazy.
the work calendar. I've got it on my
See?
phone calendar, and then I have like the thing at home that I write on.
Yeah.
But
In
yeah.
case.
So to wrap it up, what do you guys have coming up? Because you guys are always busy.
Yeah, well, this is coming out.
Yeah.
Looking at the original.
That's right. It starts on the 22nd.
November
of
22nd.
November
Yeah.
22nd at the Carlton in Toronto.
With the photo
With the photo
exhibition.
exhibit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is one more reason for us to see it. It's right there. 'Cause-
Yeah.
and now, having been through it once, I'm determined you will not make me cry the second time through.
Yeah, sure.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I'm a wuss.
It'll be dark.
Yeah, nobody will see. It'll be fine.
And Rain is on Thursday nights on CTV 2 and the CW in the States.
Mhm.
And George Ophelia is coming out in the new year as well as Sex After Kids.
That's right. Finally.
I know.
Yeah.
Where's my copy of that, Lalonde?
For reals. Where is it?
And we're starting this company and we
That's
hope to
right.
get a TV deal. We're thinking of
Yeah.
a season 2, maybe for Long Story Short, but
Yeah.
we're hoping to hook it up with the network. We're working with Shaftesbury.
Oh, nice.
They
Yeah.
distributed it.
I love
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
story.
so,
So
I
it's
love
cool.
Christina's a good friend, so they've been amazing. Everybody's worked really hard there. So we're doing that and hope to have some other stuff in development, and I'm going to try and figure out what movie I want to do next. I want to write a movie. I have a couple of things I
Well,
want
that's
to
the
write.
thing, because we didn't even really touch on it. You wrote this one as
Yeah,
well.
I did.
which
I
is
wrote my
just-
first movie, The Shower, and I wrote this movie, and sometimes I do rewrites and stuff, but I think it's a cool form to, if you write a story that's very personal, and then you can shoot it and see it. And make it happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's hard, takes a long time, but yeah, I have one in my head right
That's
now.
what I did with Carving the Light, because in my head, as I wrote it, it was always a movie. I don't
Yeah.
know how to write a script, but I wrote it as though I wrote it the way I saw it. So it was basically going to be an Oscar-winning film based on a book that I wrote. It could be.
Yeah.
I'm not done tinkering with it yet, but we'll
That's
see.
awesome.
You guys are both very talented writers. in
Oh,
your own
stop.
right.
You haven't even read my book. And I wouldn't
Did
let
you give
'cause
us
it's
your
too
book?
scary.
Yeah. Oh right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did I have it?
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for
It's
your own
too
protection.
scary.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Send
I
it
am
in,
scared.
Send the books along.
Yeah.
Reading stuff. Reading
Yeah.
books, reading things.
Yeah,
Trying to figure out.
I actually apologized for mine the other day because the sentence structure and the grammar. I was just so eager to have it published that it
Yeah,
needs
I'll
to
always
really
go
get-
back
yeah.
and-
Writing is so annoying. I
Writing's
hear
really
you.
hard.
Yeah, like,
It is,
Yeah.
and then it's like picking a scab because you can never stop.
It's
I
like-
know.
Like tweaking and
Exactly.
editing and
Yeah.
That was
I
the
know.
difference in filmmaking and still photography, because when I was a photographer, it was pre-Photoshop when I was doing a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. So you
Right.
could,
It
you
was
could
done.
edit, do it
Yeah.
in a dark room, you could print things in a different way, but
Mhm.
it was finite.
Yeah.
You either had it or you didn't, but with the film, like you could
You can tweak
edit
it
it
and-
forever. You know, the stories of Picasso painting something on the wall at the Louvre, he's in there
Right at the last
painting,
minute,
right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Still painting it,
Yeah.
wanted to change it. And many people say I don't watch my films, I can't. And John Smith just won I think it was the Lifetime Achievement Award at the DGC, and he said he doesn't watch his films, and now he's not really directing, but getting this award, he went back and watched everything, like that he'd done
That's
40 years ago,
cool.
and it was so cool. He said to watch it now with the distance between, because
Yeah.
Mhm.
before
When
you
you're
watch
so
it, and you
close.
see everything that you wanted to change or what you didn't
Yeah.
like, because
Yeah.
you know, and when you and I don't know anyone that like does something and loves it.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
That's true.
So you do it, and then, you know, I remember the first movie I did, The Shower. At the end, there was a scene that I was dying to take out, and the editor wouldn't let me. I hated it so much. He said, "No, you'll thank me. I'm not letting you take it out." And then, like a couple years later, I saw it on TV at midnight called The Shower. And I watched it and I thought, man, that was an amazing scene. Really not bad at all. It's kind of fun to
Crazy.
watch your work when you're surprised by, you don't expect
You
to see
forget
it.
stuff.
Forget
It's a
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the distance is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I want to do that like 5 years from now, is maybe go back to like our first couple podcasts. Maybe
Yeah, it'll be
watch them
cool to
and
see
just
it
say,
all.
"Oh,
Yeah.
What-
You are
what
so
I-
unprofessional.
No,
No.
what history though that you're gonna have? Think about
Yeah, it's-
what you're doing, right?
Because
Yeah.
we've just started year 3 because we just had our
Yeah.
2-year anniversary, and
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still stunned on a daily basis that we are where we are. It's
It's amazing.
yeah, and we know who we know. It's
Yeah.
wow.
And you're such an important part too. Like
I
you're
love when she says stuff.
But
like
it's
this.
true, like you're such a part of conversations when people like are talking about like, oh, you know, I want to try to get some publicity, like where should I go? And people always say, did you see what like Tim and Sue did and all this kind of stuff, you know?
Wow.
So it's like everyone knows you and you are like a really important part of what everyone's trying to do.
And it's
so.
interesting, right?
That's-
Because it's interesting to watch and see what everybody's doing.
Yeah,
totally.
the fun to watch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
blew
Yeah.
us away because we've had people tell us that we had Meg Tilly tell us that she watched our show.
That
that
was crazy.
floored me. was like, but
Who
you're
wouldn't
Meg
want to
Tilly.
watch it though? But that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's stunning. So
Yeah.
it's
Movie
it's-
stars are just people.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the
But
thing.
still,
Yeah.
it is cool.
It is.
yeah.
It's totally
Well, I think it's because it's more like this. Like it's just
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
not the same as you would see in a normal interview.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I think that's what like when we had Anna Silk
Yeah.
and her husband on.
Did they bring
people
the
were like-
baby?
No.
It was
but we
before the
finally
baby
met him.
was
Yeah.
Like there,
Yeah.
but not showing.
but no
Yes.
one knew yet.
Right. I remember
Or
when
they
And now
knew,
she's
we
like
didn't
had
know.
the baby and looks so skinny.
I
and
know.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They
And
are
the
two
baby's like
awesome.
They
people.
love each
Right?
other so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Their marriage
And that was
is
the
my
thing, like-
inspiration.
So sweet. She's
Yeah.
an amazing woman.
She really
Yeah.
is. Yeah, we
And
saw
that was
her
the thing.
last
So-
week.
so-
Yeah.
People
sweet.
didn't
He's awesome.
ever get to see them together before,
Yeah.
so they got to see what
Yeah.
they were like as a couple, and that they were fun and interesting, and they were like
Very
poking fun at
much
each
in
other and
love.
stuff. And they're
Yeah.
they very much love each other. They're just having fun and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and funny, and people were like, that was so much fun to watch because you never see them like that
Yeah.
on TV.
And because you're our friends too. Like
Yeah.
Anna's your friend. I'm your like. So when you're
Totally.
talking to your friend, you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
think.
totally.
Yeah.
But we try to discern them.
You're very
Much like you
disarming.
do.
Disarming and charming.
How about you? Tell me more.
Handsome.
Like
Smart.
when we did our first
Yes.
selfie,
Yeah.
our first selfie interviews at Fan Expo,
Oh my
we were
God,
letting the
we're
guests
amazing.
like
We need
hold
to get a
Tim's
picture
iPad.
taken.
We
Yes,
do.
we
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
But that is
You
a
can
perfect
do that,
place.
right?
Yeah.
Kelly's super
Thank you
talented.
so much for
Yes.
having us.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
god,
This
it
is
was
so
so
fun.
good to, and finally to get you in here.
Yeah.
I know.
So much
yeah,
fun.
we wanted to have you both together
Yeah.
forever, and they were
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
"Well, you just had Katie on. Do you want somebody else to come with Gail?" We're like, "No."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet. That's
Yeah.
sweet. I'm so glad you like it.
Yeah.
I'm so
It's
glad you liked the
gorgeous.
film.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Love you guys.
So Sue, great place to wrap it up. Kaylee,
Tim?
thank you for doing your thing.
Thank you, Kaylee.
And anybody who's watching at home, thank you for finding the time to watch us, and we'll see you next time. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Just did that thing.
Here's that
That thing.
thing. Nice, we got the high sign from Miss Kaylee. Very good.
Yay. Thank
Okay,
you
wait, stay
guys.
here for the